Hey, what's up, guys? I decided to make another video, this time on Naruto Shippuden. I released my Naruto video last, and I finished the show about 2 days ago, and I'm pretty excited to, uh, put my thoughts out there. I have a whole bunch of notes I put down, so let's just get into it. Will be spoilers, obviously, whatever. Um, okay, so I had a few things that for coming out of the show, I felt like in the beginning I was like, this is kind of weird that they never mentioned this. And I'm not saying maybe this happens in a movie now that I think about it, but um, when do they the people of the Hidden Leaf Village find out that Naruto has like the nine-tailed fox inside of him? It just seems like like common knowledge, I guess, like outside, because it was supposed to be a law that it wasn't able to be talked about, and when they were kids, it seemed like nobody knew. Um, the only one like you kind of find out like who kind of I guess gets it confirmed is Sakura. Um, so I just thought that was something like I would have liked to see. I'm not saying like they should have revealed it and then it should have been like a huge thing of like, oh, I can't be friends with this guy, whatever. But I just think it would have been cool to see their reaction and then reaffirm, them reaffirm like their friendship. Like Naruto's our friend. Um, I believe in him. It doesn't matter. Like something like that. That would have been cool. But oh yeah, yeah. So with Gara being kidnapped in the beginning of this show, which also when I was watching it, and they're doing the Naruto training with Sakura against Kakashi, I'm sitting here like, what the fuck? Like, what are you doing? Like how am I supposed to be invested in that? And then there's like Gara like fighting for his life in the Sand Village. That was just something where I was like, I wish they kind of split it up a little bit so that I could have been like, oh, okay, this is interesting. But I was just, like, get back to Gara. But I like seeing how Naruto reacts to them, kind of, the Akatsuki telling them, he's the first person who ever basically raised a hand to help the Chinchuriki. I just really like that, like, cause it was like it's so true. Like they get treated like shit everywhere they fucking go, and it's just so fucked up. Like, not I would say not cool, but yeah, basically. Um, yeah, Kakashi is a legend in this show. I gotta say, he's one of my favorite characters. Clearly, like he's really good. Um, his conversation with the old woman, I'm forgetting her name. When they're going to go after Gara, the old I don't know, Hidden Sand Village lady, forget her name. That was pretty interesting, like where he's talking to him, tells him how he has the nine tails inside of him, and they do all this. I don't know. That's why he feels connected to him. That's like a little bit more fuzzy to me because you know, like first fucking 20, 30 episodes, plus 500, which I did watch all of it. I watched all the filler, everything. So yeah. Oh yeah, when they were sitting on Gar's corpse when they go in there, that shit was fucked, dude. I'm sitting here like, wow, that is a foul for no fucking reason. He did not need that, dude. He didn't. That shit was just foul. Um, yeah, like I said before, how they mention and nobody has ever tried to help a Jinchuriki before. Um, I have this question I put down that I was just like, one of those intrusive thoughts. I gotta say, um, you think Datara like fucks his hand mouse? That just popped into my fucking noodle when I was watching this shit, bro. Like Datara's annoying as fuck, by the way. He just seemed like a freaky ass dude, and I don't fuck with him. Not a cool villain in my opinion. Just like didn't hate him like where he was on screen. It was like but it was like just was not there, like interest wise, where I was like, okay, that's a cool villain. Let's see. Oh yeah, okay. So in that when they're trying to save Gara, I noticed that Naruto really doesn't do that much, if anything, in that moment. And it made me feel like what was these last 2 years worth, training, whatever, 2.5 years, where nothing happens. Like like he doesn't grow. or they don't show it. They don't show it as well, like which they should. It's like he's been gone training. Show us what he has, and they don't in that moment. Where it's like that should have been like it's literally just Kakashi and Sakura, which Sakura actually has a good fight scene where she doesn't seem useless. So that was a good one. Like they gave Sakura a moment, but they should have given him a moment. Shizune was annoying me in the beginning. She stopped it, but it was like her like just like, oh, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do this. And when she went behind Tsunade's back to like complain to the elders, it was like, honestly, it was like, fuck you, Shizune. Like, I was pretty pissed off at that. Okay, yeah. The new Team Kakashi. At first, I was like, oh my god, like, I don't like Sai. Fuck this guy, whatever. I don't care. And it really did grow on me. Like, even the captain, Captain, fucking forgetting his name, but, the guy who could use the wood style. So that was a cool like thing where it was like originally I was just completely done. I'm like no, but eventually we do. The Naruto monster fight when he first transforms into the I think it's like the 4 tails or 5 tails. It's the 4 to 6 tails between there. I think it's 4, but yeah, that was cool. But it was extremely fucking slow, like so slow. So yeah, that was something where I really liked that fight, but it just really dragged on too long and felt like nothing happened for a long time with it. And something I noted down, but they did, through filler and through some more explanations, they did change my opinion, is the Naruto and Sasuke relationship. In my opinion, at that time, it was not well enough done for me to be like, where I could see why he wants to save him so bad. I'm not saying, I wasn't saying it was terrible, but I think it could have been done better. And I still do at some points, because there's a lot of, I want to say retconning, but they didn't plan stuff, I guess well enough, where it was these things happen that you don't see, or, these moments are revealed later on. So, yeah, that was awesome. But, also, in the first episode, they do that flash forward to when Naruto meets Sasuke for the first time after all that time, and he goes to the Nine Tails, whatever it is inside, I don't know, and almost undoes the seal. Literally, I don't know if they were just trying to clickbait you kind of or whatever, but when they get there, which is it's episode 50 or some shit, he goes to go, he's like, no, he goes no, I won't do, kind of hand up like this, and it was he was clearly about to pull the seal before, and it wasn't even like where he was considering it, it was just automatically no. So yeah, okay. And then this is just a note I put down, where I was like, why are there so many femboys in Naruto? There are some I don't know, hot female characters, bad bitches, whatever, but there's just too many femboys where it's 3, there's too many. Hold on a second. Got a drink there. Yeah, so that was something I just noticed where it's just a lot of them. I don't know, a lot. Shikamaru is such a good character, definitely one of my favorites. I put that down. Yeah, and then going back to what I said earlier, I wish there was a reaction to him finding out about, his friends finding out about the nine-tailed fox inside of him, an explanation, him just saying that or whatever. Him revealing it to them would have been something cool. I just think it would have been cool. This is what, for a filler thing, I'm just going to go through this one, because this filler actually ended up being pretty good. Too long though, but Sora was clearly a Jinchuriki, and I was somewhat right with them siphoning off some of the Nine Tails chakra and putting it inside of Sora, and he gets rid of it. And then with the filler, Naruto feels extremely weak at some points, especially in original Naruto, but he wasn't as strong, in this show. And towards the end, Naruto was OP, and I fucked with that so hard. And then they didn't put filler in where it was oh, he's gonna get his ass beat for no reason. No, they put filler, but then it would be flashbacks or whatever. So Oh yeah, so with that filler arc, I think it would have been cool if Hinata saved Naruto from the woman who was like trying to kiss him, whatever, to suck out his chakra. I just think that would have been cool. Hinata's like not in it that much early on, and I really like Hinata. Like Hinata's probably my favorite female character in the show. I don't know, but I would also switching gears here. I would have liked some more Iruka and Naruto interactions. I'm also going to mention on later in the video. I did end up talking about the. I'm going to end up talking about the last movie, the Naruto, the last movie, whatever. And about that. So that's something that I watched after I finished the show. It's like the last 10 episodes, whatever. I was like confused, like what is this? You're just skipping past all this shit. But anyway, I wrote down, why does it feel like Asuma's about to die? It's kind of obvious, and I really hope I'm wrong. They make it so clear sometimes. Like, bro, I'm thinking about if you watch my probably nobody did, but if you watch my spoiler, I guess, the City Hunter K-drama, it's just like clearly the prosecutor was about to die, and I'm like, bro, he walks off into the light type shit, like, oh, we'll get back together when I come. Like, come on now. And then I put down again, Shikamaru continues to be one of the best characters. The episode after Asuma's funeral was really good. That was a really good episode. Shikamaru is just a really well done character. It was completely done. I also put down, this has nothing to do with Shikamaru, that Two Tails Jinchuriki was a baddie, rest in peace. She was. And then I don't mind us switching away from Naruto, as I thought the training was really dragging on. And early in the show, it really wanted to stick to Naruto, and that's something that Bleach didn't do, where it would switch from Ichigo, and I mean for too long. But I'm saying, like, a few episodes you can have it there, and then you can have his... What they do also really well is when he's not there, he's still there. Like, he's influencing people, and he's, like, they show that he's that important, where he inspires all these people, and they, I'm thinking, like, the Kiba episode, standalone filler episode, which I love those standalone filler episodes, or the two-parter ones, but mostly the one. Like, I really, really like those standalone character episodes. They're just so well done. Probably one of my favorites. This is actually a two-parter, but I really like the Hinabi filler. Flashbacks. That was so good because like she's just a character in the background. We didn't know that much, so I'm skipping a little too forward. So let's go back here. Oh yeah, Kakashi when he was roasting. I forget the guy's name. The guy with the 8 hearts or 4 hearts, or whatever it is. When he roasts the shit out of him, and he's like, after Naruto fucking destroys him with the Rasen Shuriken. That shit was clean as hell. But yeah, I forget exactly what he said, long time ago, but it was good. Naruto and Jiraiya's relationship is really well done. Most of the sensei-student relationships are, and I still agree with that. I think for the most part, they've all been really well done. Kurenai falls off 100%. I think, like, in the original show, I'm pretty sure it was the original show, right? With I think it is. The original show where Kurenai was training that girl, who had that special, I'm forgetting the name, but when they had those special kind of bloodline ninjutsu stuff. I really can't remember the name at the moment, but, she had her moment to shine there, and then after, throughout this entire show, she never really has another moment like that where she's fighting, like when she fought, Akatsuki. It was just like, something where I was like, she was a badass, and then she just kind of turned into like a soccer mom. I don't really want to shit on her like that, like not really try to be like that, but just like, she really went from like a fighter to just like, I get she's, pregnant, whatever, but it was just like after that too. And a little before that, there wasn't really anything. But I mean, I get it. it just felt like a big shift where I wish there was like at least like a scene with her and Asuma. Like, I think I'm gonna step back from this. I just want to raise the kid. Like, shit like that. So it was like, and it was obvious she was pregnant, by the way, before they revealed it. I mean, like, obviously they put that in there, but I think it was a little like too clear. I wish like there was some shit sometimes where there's like some. I mean, there is, but I think I'm pretty good at noticing this stuff. I'm really bad at noticing some stuff, other stuff I get. And the pregnancy ones I usually kind of get right, so had that one. Okay, and then with the other filler, them mentioning that they'll seal the Three Tails inside another dimension was some shit that just came out of nowhere because we never heard of like other dimensions or that power before. So that was something that just came out of nowhere, but it ended up, playing a way bigger role in other dimensions later on. Yukimaru and Gurren had one of my favorite filler arcs. It did run long again. Like, some of these arcs would be so much better if there was like 5 episodes less, something like that. But their relationship, like mother-child relationship, was so good. Like, it was so well done. Felt completely earned. And then they appear at the end of their show, after the big war ends and everything. That was so cool. Like, they're just a background character. They don't talk or nothing, but it was like, oh, I know you. It was just some cool shit. I put Ino is straight up fucking useless. She gets better. She does get better. That was early on. I did lose a lot of faith for her when she was crying with the whole Sasuke thing, and I'll get into that later. But okay, yeah. So just at that moment, I was like done. I like seeing Sasuke in a starring role after being absent for so long. Yeah, I agree with, like, I wrote it, so yes, I agree. Um, yeah, so that's something I think should have is done a bit better. Like, for a long time, it's just Naruto mentioning Sasuke, 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 but we don't get enough of Sasuke. They went with him places that I didn't expect them to go. I don't know why. I just expected, like, oh yeah, he'd save him from Orochimaru and be that simple. Um, which I think it would have been way worse if they did do that. I don't know why I didn't think like they would do anything else. So I was pretty surprised um, when he killed Orochimaru, which I was like, okay, good riddance. Not the best villain in my opinion. Like I said in the original show, like Orochimaru's decent, but he does not hold a candle to Aizen. Uh, yeah, but he had his moments. Um, Karen is a Karen, whatever, is unlikable. Hopefully, my opinion of her changes. Not really. She continued to be probably my least favorite character in the show. If I remember someone else, I'll put it up there. But they gave her a backstory, and her backstory was sad, and I get that. And I'm sitting here, and I'm like, okay, it was sad. Like, it was a depressing backstory, and you kind of get why she's more like that. But still, she's just so fucking annoying. Uh, Yeah, so the Kakashi flashback, it was really cool to see the fourth Hokage in action. I'll talk more about that. No, I'll get into it now. They go from nothing, like basically nothing to the fourth Hokage. You get to see his back, whatever, a picture of him, to him straight up just being like in a lot of the episodes and unnecessary flashbacks. They go from too little to too much. Not too much, I guess. Like, there's too many like flashbacks of the same thing, but that's like was with Naruto too. But still, um, okay, yeah. So when they finally show Kakashi's backstory, which is something I wanted to know in the original series, and I thought this was like people just marked it as filler. I heard, so I didn't know it would have as much importance as it did. But Obito's death hit hard. How Kakashi got the Sharingan is tragic. That was true. Gets even more tragic, but still. Okay, episode 126 was really good. And then finally confirming Naruto's parents out loud was cool. Jiraiya is easily one of my favorite characters. That conversation within Jiraiya and Tsunade was so good. So, getting um getting into Jiraiya and Tsunade, I gotta say this. First of all, like, they should have ended up together, like, before then. Second of all, bro, like they have that the tree. I'm forgetting when they're all in the dreams or whatever, bro. If Tsunade ever ended up with Don, bro, I'd be pissed off. Like Don ain't do shit. Fuck you. Like Jiraiya all day, bro. Like I don't know, but yeah. But that conversation between them before he leaves was so good, and it was like, oh, I wish he didn't back off on the thing, like where it was like, if I come back, you know, how about you basically be with me, we'll be together, and then he goes like, just kidding, like, come on, bro, stop bitching out. Um, they then inserted some filler in a spot which I thought was pretty bad. Which was between Naruto getting back from, um, the mission where he. Let me just make sure I didn't put this shit down. Yeah, oh, I actually didn't put stuff down about that. That's crazy. Um, was when Sasuke's fighting Itachi and stuff. I completely fucking forgot to put that down, so that's why I was looking at my notes a little confused. But um, yeah, so when Naruto's around there, all that stuff, and then they, after Jiraiya is killed, which is fucking tragic. I really wish he got away. I feel like I don't know, like I don't know if his death it wasn't meaningless, but I feel like as it went along, I feel like they could have found, especially if he was still alive when Pain came for Naruto, which he was going to, he could have like still investigated him some more or something. I don't know, but I just felt like it still wasn't like, oh, this guy's so stupid, but it was just like, I don't know. But yeah, them inserting filler after that in between when Naruto finds out was some complete bullshit. Um, with Ukikata was pretty cool, and then it revealing he's a Jinchuriki, and him like getting that kind of happy-ish ending, and then immediately getting fucking murked by Pain was like some shit where I was like, okay, that's tragic. And then he left the girl like just sitting there on a rock kicking her fucking feet, um, after agreeing to be her sensei. That shit was just tragic. But oh yeah, the fight between Itachi and Sasuke was really good, um, clean, and then he dies, whatever. Uh, the Pain monologue to Naruto was, I didn't know like it was as popular as it was. After I finished the show, I was doing some like research on what other people thought, and that was like really popular. So I didn't know that, but yeah, it was fucking clean. Um, and I liked him acknowledging Naruto, like where he kind of he respects him, but he's like I have a plan, you don't. And then Hinata's love confession was done so well. Hinata is clearly the best girl, absolutely true. Um, I was like watching it, and it was somewhat early on, like 125. No, I don't know. No, 130 to 160, somewhere in there. And it was like, oh, they're gonna get together, and then he kind of completely ignores it. I don't know, maybe he didn't hear it or some shit. I don't know, but that was some shit where I was disappointed. But she was so fucking like clean in that moment, where those flashbacks were so sad. They gave a few more flashbacks to like, young Naruto, not just him sitting on the bench, which I bench no swing, which was so well done because it's like it's hard to feel the same thing over and over when he's sitting by himself, and yes, it's sad, but it's like it's the same thing over and over and over. And then some of these flashbacks, they finally show some more of what his life was like, and it's like worse than that. Like when the shopkeeper like treats this dude like shit, shoves him out of the store, throws this mask at him, like it's like a kid, like he's fucking 6 years old, like you piece of shit, like ridiculous. But and then that flashback, going back to where I was going, with Hinata, where he saves Hinata and he gets his ass beat, and then they just leave him there. And I saw that the creator of Naruto said like Hinata was the first one to ever acknowledge Naruto, and they always say it's Haruka, and I do get that actually completely because she never like stood up for him basically, like she did then, and she was like, oh, I should have stood up for you back then. But yeah, like this dude got beat up. Like I didn't like hate Hinata or anything for it, but I was just like, damn, that's fucked up. Like where he swoops in, he doesn't swoop in, he saves her, he helps her out, gets his ass beat, and then Hinata's guardian just comes up there and is like, stay away from this guy. They just leave him, like, after getting beat up in the forest. Like, fuck this guy. Like, fuck that guy. Whoever, I don't know what his name is if they ever gave it, but... Oh, yeah, so, after all that, where he finally, talks to Pain, he gets everyone to bring, basically everyone back to life, which I didn't expect. I don't know. I felt like Kakashi wasn't dead, but I didn't know how that happened. But yeah. So yeah, I heard there was a spoiler about something about Kakashi. I can't even remember now. And it was like, oh, but he died. How does that happen? And then he came back. So anyway, the villagers finally respecting Naruto and thinking of him as a hero is so good and so well earned, and that is so true. And when they do it so often, when you're binging a show, and, I've been in Naruto back to back with Naruto Shippuden, and for them to completely just, for them to, show these, same, progression flashbacks, it doesn't feel as big. Up until towards the end of the show where you're like, holy shit, he really did change. But when you're watching it back to back, it doesn't feel like as big of a change as, as if you were watching him throughout the time and you, get a flashback. You're like, oh yeah, wow, he was really weak back then, whatever. Yeah, so I put the flashback episodes events we never saw as something I never liked. However, at least we're getting more Naruto Sasuke friendship moments after such a long time. That episode with Naruto and Sasuke with to get their hands stuck together, and Naruto's like, oh, I gotta take a piss. He's like, yo, come on, hold it. And he's like, wait, I gotta go too. That was some friendship shit where I'm like, okay, that was some more shit we needed in the OG series. So yeah. And then I put this down. This is nothing to do with anything, but man, I love Tauntaun. Also really like how the animators make her do stuff in the background. Tauntaun's one of my favorite animal characters in this show. Just super underrated. Doesn't even talk that much. But oink that much, whatever. But it was just funny as hell, and I love seeing her in there. This is just a note for a previous video. That there was a bar called the Cat's Eye and the Cat Paw print episode, which I think was if there was any filler to not be canon, it would be that. That shit was fucking weird as shit, weird as fuck. And then they do bring it back way at the end of the series with that, but either way. Oh yeah, so there was that Kakashi episode where that girl who was in love with them, whatever. That was really well done. And I just put, let Kakashi have love. He deserves it. Because, yeah, damn. The gay Naruto and Sasuke stuff is strong in the episode where they're tied together. And it really was. I think they kiss again. Which was, really forced. So I get why there's a lot of that Sasuke Naruto, gay fanfic stuff. So, I fucking hate Danzo. More of a snake than Orochimaru. This is absolutely true. Danzo, I thought about this. I'm watching the show, and every 9 out of 10, he causes 7 fucking things to happen, and it's thank God he never really gets what he wants. But they constantly bring up throughout the series, oh, he's the dark if Sarutobi's the light, and it's no, he keeps he does the bad stuff that the village has to do. Not really, no. And then he constantly he gets it destroyed. He's the one who did it to destroy it. The reason Pain destroyed the fucking village is because Danzo went to fucking I forget the guy's name, the salamander, Hanzo the salamander, and was like, oh, these Katsuki guys are gonna betray you. You should kill them. And everything this dude did, when you think about it, either backfired or just straight up fucking had bad ramifications for the village later on. So when Sasuke killed this motherfucker, I was fucking kicking my feet in the air, giddy as hell. Only wish he could have died more painfully, actually. Okay, so I also put I'm really enjoying Naruto becoming the hero of the village, but still not saying Sasuke trying to find peace after what happened with Pain. Like literally trying to find peace. I really did like that, where he's like, I will find peace, so I will figure that out. Oh, this was really good. So, Sai calling out Sakura for what she's done to Naruto was so emotional and so true. He's been suffering so much for everyone else, especially for Sakura, which is so fucking true. This is the moment where I'm not a complete Sakura hater. Like, she's not useless all the time, but I gotta say, like, fucking, I don't know, maybe 60% of the time she doesn't do shit, and she's just an annoying fucking character. I want to get more into that like I said, I don't hate her. Some points I do, where I'm like watching this show and I'm like, are you really fucking kidding me with this? But that was a moment where that was so deserved. Where Sai just like, Naruto loves you. Which, by the way, they should have never put that in there. That should have never been a thing. If there was no intent. I always hated love triangles, but also it's like, I'll get into it a little bit. Sasuke never has shown one fucking ounce of care for Sakura. Not one goddamn ounce. And for them to kind of call it a love triangle is so wrong. And by the way, I'm not saying Naruto should have ended up with her. He just shouldn't have been interested at all. Like, Sakura ain't shit. He not the best girl. I said that, and I mean it. Fuck Sakura. Like, but yeah, Sai calling her out for that, saying he loves you and you're making him do all this stuff, and it's like, so fucking true. Just so true, and really needed to be called out. And it was something that I really didn't think about until it's like, yeah, you really are the one causing him all this pain. And then finally saying enough is enough with Sasuke was so deserved. There's a point that, he went over the line, basically, and it was like, holy shit, like, this guy went way over the line. And I get why, and I appreciate that, where everyone's finally like, no, we're done. Like, we're done with this. Sasuke was one of us, but he's gone too far, and I respect that. I felt like, and it felt completely like, yeah. Like, at this point, I was kind of like, fuck Sasuke, too. I was just like, he's doing all this shit. Like, it was insane. And, he just went too far. Oh, okay, now this was a moment where I really hated Sakura. So, I'm going to go into everything for a second, but with Sakura and Sasuke, they do the thing where it's like, she even has like this episode, I forget what it is, but where it's like, when did I fall in love with Sasuke? Why, whatever, I used to think he was just handsome, but when did I fall in love with him? And they never give an answer to that, and it was like, I thought he was attractive, and that's it. And I'm sitting here, like, what has he done? He has basically never shown you 1 ounce of kindness. He's treated you like shit. Naruto's been there for you the whole fucking time. Helping you, doing all this shit, taking all these fucking hits for you. Like, and you're just like, Sasuke. And then, another moment, oh my god, I just fucking lost that song. Where Sakura's like, if Naruto or Sasuke were both injured, who would I heal first? And it was like after all this shit happened. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, that is a question? That is a question. That was like, Sakura, bro, I'm done. Like, there was some point where she had her moments where I was like, okay. And then other moments where I'm just like, I couldn't fucking stand her. Like, where it was just like, she did help sometimes, she saved people, she did some good stuff, but then she was just so fucking pathetic when it came to Sasuke, and it ruined her character, I think, in a lot of ways, where it's like, she's just so fucking pathetic. Like, oh, I love you, Sasuke, don't leave me, come back to me, whatever. He was never with you, he doesn't give a shit about you, like, go away, like, it was like, Naruto loves you, like I said, like, I could kind of see it sometimes, shatter moments, but for that to just happen was so disgusting to me. And then for Sakura, now sorry, I said this was the point, but for Sakura to say she loves Naruto is bullshit. It even sounds fake, and like he's the second choice only because she can't have Sasuke. That's fucked. I wrote that, so obviously, once again, I completely agree with that. It was disgusting. There was no reason for it. Where she's like, "Oh, I'll get him to come back to the village," and nobody knows what she's about to do, and she's just like, "Naruto, I love you," and and I'm like sitting here, and I'm just like, what do you mean? What? And the way she said it, like, "Naruto, I love you. Sasuke's gone too far. You're the one who's always been there for me. I don't love Sasuke anymore. I love you." And it was just the way like she delivered it, which was, I know that's how it was meant to be. And Naruto's just like, "You're lying. Like you're on." And that was some shit like were really soured me, I think, for like the rest of the series on Sakura. Like I said, once again, I know I said I wasn't hating on Sakura, but like the more I think about it, like once again, not just could have, should have been done better. And but that was like a really big like line that she crossed with that, where she didn't love Naruto like that, and she said that. That's not even leading him on. That's just straight up telling him, you love him, and like spitting in his face basically. And if he wasn't like, "You're lying," whatever, and she's like, "No, I really do like in this like the way she just did it." And then even when she was trying to act like she really loved him and making it sound like he was the second choice was like some shit where I was just so fucking done. So I put Sakura really ain't shit. Okay, so Naruto's speech to Sasuke was one of my favorite monologues, besides the pain one, in anime history. How he tells him he'll shoulder his hate, and if they die fighting each other, then they'll be free of their burdens in the afterlife, was really well done. I just thought it was really good. Um, I also put, I'm really hoping that the other reanimated body is the fourth Hokage. When Kabuto like shows what the fuck the guy's name is? Toby, Obito, whatever, and that was like something I guessed, and it ended up being Madara, so whatever. But um, you did end up seeing the reanimated body with Hokage, so it did end up going cool. Guy and Kakashi's friendship is great, and it was great to know Naruto's origin completely. Naruto definitely should have been treated better, and Madara needs to die. Obito basically. So I do think like I'm gonna still sit on this hill of Sarutobi, the third Hokage, really did Naruto dirty as fuck and did the fourth Hokage dirty. When Kushina's like, his name's Naruto, please take care of him. And he's like, "I will." For you to basically like raise him until he's like, I don't know, fucking 5 years old, kick him out, like give him an apartment and an allowance, and say, "Here you go," instead of taking him in, like raising him yourself and kind of helping him, you kind of shove him to the side and treat him like shit, and kind of shit on the fourth Hokage too, because it's like you couldn't help him. Like I know he wouldn't have become the guy he would have become, so it ended up like kind of being, I guess, for the best. But still, when you think about it from that perspective, it really like puts a bad taste in my mouth for that. And I would have liked to see like a reason or why he decided to do that. Where it's just kick him out of his own whatever. And then when Naruto asks him, about his parents, and he just like wouldn't tell him anything, like not even lie to him, just nothing, was like some shit where I'm just sitting here like, okay. Um, the Akatsuki, like in the fourth, Ninja War, using the whole dead people like that we've seen before, like that was so cool. Like especially people like legitimately we've seen before, not just like, "Oh, this is like people from the Seven Ninja Sword," like when we saw Zabuza and I forget her name, but so his name, it's a femboy. Um, put down the third Okage is kind of an asshole. I think that's when I saw the point where Naruto asked about his parents and he didn't say anything. The speech Gaara gives is great before the Fourth Ninja War. I just wish Naruto was there with them. Yeah, that was something I stuck with. And Naruto ends up having his moments, obviously, but I did feel like I wish he was kind of there from the beginning. Although he did end up, it was worth it. But yeah, oh yeah, Haku, that's the name. Um, I like what they did with the animated jutsu, giving closure to characters who died, like Haku, knowing that Zabuza loved him, or Sai's brother seeing the drawing. I thought that was really well done too, where it's like you give these closures and these things that they know. So that was cool. And Kakashi losing his cool was something also pretty cool. Where he's like, "This is too far," like you're. This is like I'm mad. Like it takes a lot to get me mad, but I'm mad now. Um, and how the Akatsuki fight is foul. True. Um, Kabuto is a way more important character than I originally thought. I mean, he was for a little bit, then he kind of fell back. But yeah, I really didn't expect him to be as big as he was, or basically become Orochimaru 2.0. Um, Even when they put filler during the fourth grade Ninja War, they get me to be interested in it. And this is the filler where nothing really happens, but there are like those singular battles, like the episode with the kid, I forget his name, the kid who could control the weather. That was a good filler arc, flashback one. That was interesting. That stuff like happened in the real area, but yeah, that was just some shit where I was like, that was interesting. But then later on, they did filler where I was like, not really into it. Um, Gar's father admitting he was wrong and his mother loved him and his uncle loved him was sad, but I was glad he knows now because I think I mentioned this in the original video. Gar was done so fucking dirty. It was disgusting, dude. Like, it was disgusting how they did him. Where his uncle's just like, your mother never loved you. I never loved you. I've always hated you, Gar. Like, that was disgusting. And for him to, like, get that kind of relief, like, it was still just like, wow. It's about, I wrote, who is Toby? I eventually guessed it. Right before it was revealed, I guessed it. That second meteor Madara maidens actually surprised me. I can't remember that bit. And then I put Karen as fucking pathetic because, yep. Are they really gonna have Naruto fight Sasuke right after he defeats the fake Madara? I really hope so. Dragged it out for too long. Actually, when I was watching it, right? No, this was stupid of me, and I'll admit that. I thought like when they were fighting together, like I said, it didn't end up going the way I expected, especially with them helping in the Ninja War or whatever. I really didn't think about how that would go, and when they were fighting the people, I'm like, oh, maybe they won't fight it out, and I was wrong, and obviously I'm glad that I'm wrong. I love those. I'm going a little bit ahead, but still, I just want to talk about it. Those knockout, drag out fights, when they're having trouble getting up and they're just throwing these kind of weak punches, and it's like both of them like barely holding on like to consciousness, whatever, and they're just fighting on the dirt. It's just so cool. Like I love that kind of fight. When it gets there, like obviously you don't want to start like that, but just cool. Anyway, I like how they explain how the tail beasts act the way that they do. I I I agree. I need to stop saying that. I do like that how they. It feels like the tail beast went from people who are like complete monsters, and they give you a reason, and the reason fit. I just feel like a little bit. I wish there was a bit more between Oh my god, what the fuck's this dude's name? Kurama and Naruto, like a bit more of that friendship. Although I did really like they had moments. I just wish they built it up a bit more, but they did do pretty well. So it just went from like 0 to 100, but when they were friends, like it was cool and they had a good relationship. Itachi is a great character. Um, he really was. I appreciate that they brought him back to talk to Sasuke and explain things, and to give his side. Um, I just feel like like I didn't see it. I didn't expect that, I guess, but it really was needed. Just for him, he needed to talk to Sasuke frankly, and it was good to have that. And him, entrusting Sasuke to Naruto was really well done too. And then here's where I put, I'm not happy they brought back Orochimaru, which I wasn't. I didn't know what they were gonna do. I didn't end up hating what they did with him. I just thought he was gonna come back as a villain. And then I put, is Obito the fake Madara? That's what I guessed it after that. Okay, and then I put that. Okay. Danzo deserved a way worse death. He literally caused most of these events to happen. He's such a dumb fuck. All he does is get people to destroy the Leaf Village. And yup. Okay. Seriously, fuck Danzo. Fucking spit on his grave. I don't. They never showed him getting a funeral. I hope they just fucking threw his body in the mud or like in the dirt, whatever. Lit his body on fire. Throw him in the trash. I don't know. Just really hated that fucking character the entire show. And then them like, you know, even after he dies, showing how he like created pain was like was just too late. Come on. Hinata being the one to inspire Naruto and fight alongside him is great. I really hope we get more of their romance before the show ends. Fuck Sakura. I don't even remember what that's in regards to. She did something at that moment I'm probably still salty about earlier. But yeah, that was a good moment where Hinata. I wish she was in it more. When you really like are watching it back to back, you notice how like kind of not how little like she is in it. Towards like the I guess half. I don't know, 150 episodes in, whatever. But she is barely in it for like that first 100 episodes. Like maybe one episode she appears or something. Like literally the first 100 episodes. Because I remember watching it, I was like, wow, we're not seeing her at all. But okay, things are way too similar to what happened in the past. Multiple times similar things happen to what's going on now. And then they explain that with the reincarnation thing. So that ended up like making it make more sense than just like, you know, same thing happen. I'm going to compare this to another video again. At first, I thought it was like the Angel Heart where the girl, you know, gets stabbed. And it was like how Rio saved Glass Heart and, you know, became like her father and everything. And it was just like that. It was like it diminished the original when someone else had it too. But, you know, it just diminished it a little bit. But they explained it. I put things aren't going how I thought they would be. Like they really weren't. They were going off the rails. Neji's death hit hard. He was a really good character. He really was. Neji was a legend. He definitely like was just great. Like really good. Him like stepping in, you know, for Naruto and all that was just, I don't know, dude. It was just so well fucking done. Just, it was so good. It was, you know, Neji's just been there. Like, he's been that guy, you know, he's been such a great character where, you know, he starts out, you fucking hate him, you know, he's an asshole, and he treats Hinata like shit. For him to, like, go from that to being, you know, like her actual little brother, I know they call him that, but, like, for going into that brother role and taking care of her and helping her with Naruto and just supporting her was really well done. And him just dying in Naruto's arms was so good and so sad. And when Obito fucking said to him, this was so good, but I was like, damn, that hits hard, where he was like, I'm gonna create your biggest fear, where a world where nobody acknowledges you, like where you go back to being alone. I was like, holy shit, that's fucking crazy. And then that's when Hinata steps in and helps him. But that was some shit. I really love how everyone finally respects Naruto and realizes all that he's done for them. Like, yeah, like every character kind of does that at a point where even if they're friends with Naruto, they finally just kind of realize, like, holy shit, like, this guy's done a lot for us, like, let's back him up, like, let's do this, you know. Shikamaru kind of being like, I'm gonna live to help Naruto become Hokage and be his advisor was something I really liked. You know, where where Naruto saves Shikamaru, and they're just like, and Sakura's like, Naruto, I got this, and they're just like, Sakura, Naruto's doing this unconsciously, like he's not even, you know, he just wants to protect his friends that badly. Yeah, so that was cool. And then also, I forgot to mention when Obito's doing the, you know, you'll be in a world where nobody acknowledges you. When he says like, "Oh, what was that you said earlier? I won't let any of my comrades die," and he's like shoving it back in his face. That was so cool, so cool. And then I put they keep inserting filler episodes where there shouldn't be any, but once again, I really like the single episode filler flashback character focus episode, like the Hanabi one. Hinata's father was an asshole, completely agree, but he does switch it up. The 19 episode filler arc right now sucks, but I'm a little interested. I also feel bad knowing what's going to happen to few. That goes with the second Chunin exam arc, the filler one, where Naruto's out on his mission, whatever. I do think it went on for too long, and I did end up getting into it, definitely, but I just felt like for a chunk of it, I was kind of like just not where I wanted it to be. Okay, so the Infinite Tsukiyomi is supposed to be free of fighting in war. That's the whole point. So why in 1010's world is there war? Which they do end up explaining as, they're all in their own separate world. It wasn't, I didn't know that. I don't forget if he mentioned that earlier, but where he actually, it's their, each person has their own world. That was a good episode, the 1010. I think it was a two-parter where they're in this alternate world and she, is trying to get out, but then she accepts it and stays there. Yeah. Okay. Great Karen filler episode, just what I wanted. So basically, she has PTSD, and the only person who ever lifted a finger to help her was Sasuke. Makes more sense, but she's still annoying. Okay. Sakura is so fucking pathetic when it comes to Sasuke. It's absolutely ridiculous. She can be a good character, but when it comes to Sasuke, she's stupid as fuck for no reason. 100% agree. Like, if she didn't have all this Sasuke shit, she would be a way better character. Like, once again, she didn't have to end up with Naruto, and I'm not at the point where I'm like, I don't think I was ever at that point where it was like a toss-up between her and Hinata. Because I know they ended up together. I knew Naruto and Hinata ended up together. And there was never really a toss-up where I was like, oh, I want him to end up with her. Like, there was some points where I was like, it could go either way. And then it was like a little bit, like barely any. But then it was just like, no, Hinata. Like, fuck, like, I went to the point of Sakura and Sasuke deserve each other, bro. Just go. Just go. That was the shit where I was like, yeah, I'm done. Okay, yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of the final villain. I didn't appreciate when they redeemed Obito. I guess redeemed Obito. I don't know how they do that shit so well because you hate him. When you think he's Madara, he creates, helps create pain, and he kills Naruto's parents. Like he does all this shit. And then for you to somehow just get like the backstory and everything, and then be like, damn, like he's not that bad of a guy. He just went and it's like, how do you do that? How do you do that? And then, you're like, damn, I like Obito now. But yeah. So yeah. Anyway, that was some good shit. But then, they revealed that the real Madara was the one who created the entire plane and used him. And then that was okay. Like, I was like, okay, that's interesting. I like that. And then they do the other twist where it was actually, I forget what the bitch name was, but, the original creator or user of chakra or whatever. That was something where that villain just wasn't that interesting to me. And I was like, okay, it's a god level figure, but it just wasn't an interesting villain. Those flashback episodes, like giving her origin, was kind of cool. I didn't really feel too bad about her fucking killing the her boyfriend, husband, whatever. When she was pregnant, because he literally was just like killed. Like he was a bitch. He was a punk bitch. Deserved it. Don't give a shit. Okay, so that scene where Naruto was saying goodbye to Minato hit hard. That was pretty good. Where he. Yeah, I was telling like when his mom said like, "Oh, listen to this." Whatever. I think I really like this where he was like, I know mom told me to end up with someone like her, but and then he doesn't continue, but he's like, but yeah, I bathe every day. I eat all this stuff's ramen, but I eat other stuff than ramen. It was really good. Um, okay, the Sasuke Naruto fight was clean. I feel like some other shit's gonna come up between there that I'm forgetting, but it really was. At first, I was like, Sasuke is like, I'm gonna take over. I'm gonna kill the Kages and take over the world. And I was like, Sasuke, like I was like Sasuke, like disappointed. I was annoyed. I was like, come on, dude. Like, can't we? But like, 'cause at that point, I kind of thought they'd be good. Like, somewhat. I thought they'd be okay, but that fight was so well done. And then, like, I like how it turned from like like I said, from the big, mech type fight, where they're each in their, I forget what the fuck they're called, but he's in the Nine Tails mode, and then he's in the I can't remember, the armored guy fucking mech type thing, um, and then it goes from that to them just you know drag out fighting, and then it's eventually the Chidori versus Naruto's Rasengan again, and Naruto finally does the Rasengan with one hand. That was really cool, and they show the all the people doing it, like twisting it, like how the clones do, which is symbolic. Obviously, he does it on him by himself, but that was so cool. And then them finally like having this conversation, which is what they really needed. Where Sasuke wants to kill Naruto just to completely like cut his ties with him, which is another thing with Sakura because he does like at some point I'm like, does he even consider Naruto? Like, does he even give a shit about Naruto at all? And then when you think that, and then they do confirm, yeah, he does. That's why he wants to get rid of him. But there is no mention of Sakura because he doesn't give two shits, and she's out here fucking licking his asshole like that is a crazy way to put. I don't know what I was trying to say with that, but like like a glazing him, I guess. Like, oh, he's such a great guy. I love it. Whatever. Um, that was just some shit where I'm sitting here and I'm like, he really doesn't care, and he even says, to Kakashi, like she's like, oh, I forget exactly what he says, but basically he puts her in a genjutsu, and he kind of talks shit. It Kakashi's like, Naruto, I mean, sorry, Sasuke, she loves you. She's in pain because she's loving you. She doesn't want you to, I don't know, belong to her or something like that. Which, yes, she does. She wants to be with him. Why? I don't fucking know. That's such a big reason why I don't like Sakura. If it was somewhat well done and they had some of these moments where they got together before he left, something. But she has consistently been clear as fuck. He's known that she's loved him, and he does not care. He doesn't care. He just does it. So like they give him one moment at the very end of the show, um, where basically it's just where he kind of gives her some romantic attention, I guess. But anyway, going back to the fight was so cool. And then they finally have that conversation which they needed to have. You know, him showing him his feelings and him, showing him his whatever. And now Naruto, which I do like, can completely understand when he's like in the original fight. He's like, you can't understand me. You've never had a family, so you never had those ties. You don't know. And then he loses Jiraiya, and he finds out about his mom and dad. So he does lose those things, and that felt like they're on equal footing. Um, and then Sasuke acknowledges him. He's like, I acknowledge you, which is what he wanted to. He missed that. And then, after they fight with the Rasengan and the Chidori, and they're sitting there, and, like I said, they're talking, they're showing each other memories, stuff like that. And they're like, am I dead? And, Naruto's worried about how they can't undo the infinite Tsukuyomi if both of them aren't there. And then, it turns out they're not both dead, and they're having a conversation, and it's like, and Sasuke's finally like, okay, well, now we understand each other. Like, I can feel his emotions, like he could feel mine the entire time. I don't know, like something like that. It was like, I forget exactly what it was worded like, but how he could, I don't know, was connected to him like that. He wasn't connected to Naruto as closely as that, but now they are. And then when they pull out and reveal that their fucking arms were blown off, I was like sitting here, because he's like, oh yeah, you see that will bleed out. And they're doing the I forget what it was, like the that what it's called, but this. And they do that in the original, the original Naruto Sasuke fight in the original Naruto series. And I feel like when they did that, they didn't explain that that was like supposed to be like the respecting each other after a fight thing. But it's like anyway, so then the blood connects them, and it's like they did that. That was so fucking cool to me. I was just like, damn, that shit's clean. But it was just so well done. But so and I was not expecting that. Like I feel like I've seen like photos and stuff from Boruto, like nothing really spoilery, but just like the like Naruto's hand like bandaged up, whatever. I never noticed that before, so I didn't like. I had no clue that happened. Um, so he gets the regrow arm, whatever. I kind of want to see what it looks like underneath the bandages. Is it just because it's like white, like white Zetsu or whatever? You know, like how it's just completely white, like Obito, how he has the half, white, whatever. I wonder if that's what it looks like, but anyway, so and then Sasuke and Naruto, they finally, he admits to friends, I have to go to atone. He finally Naruto speaks up for him. Kakashi becomes Hokage, which I'm like okay with. When he was gonna become Hokage, when Tsunade was in a coma, I would have preferred that to after this. And I do appreciate what they were doing with Naruto becoming Hokage, where they're gonna let him become a Jonin, which I'm sitting here, I'm like, fuck yes, dude, like absolutely, like this dude has done so much, like, but he's like, it's what I wish I could say, but you had to study all this shit. So I did like that, where it was like he couldn't just immediately become Hokage because he needed to learn all this stuff to actually be able to run, like, he has all these people to follow him, but he doesn't have all the necessary skills to lead, all the knowledge to lead, the whole Hidden Leaf Village. So that's kind of something I liked. Um, and then all the people respecting him and coming to see him, that was cool, where everyone's trying to get into the Hidden Leaf Village to see Naruto. And then that's where you see Yukimaru and Gurren in the background. That was pretty sweet. And then you see some other people. I forget who they were. I just remember that one because I really like that filler arc. And then Sasuke gets released because Naruto basically petitions for it and basically saves him. Which because they didn't just let him completely free, where it was like he just gets to keep go, like, because he went too far. He really did. Like if he just stuck with Orochimaru kind of, and that was about it, it wouldn't have been that bad because he didn't do that many bad things with Orochimaru. But him just like like all the shit he did end up doing was like crazy. Like if he ended up killing oh my god, how can I not remember his name? Killer B. If he ended up killing him, I would have been pissed off. Killer B ended up being a fucking legend. Yes, his raps were ass, but he was a good character. So I liked him. Uh, I also didn't like, this was just kind of passed over, and I get that, like, wasn't important enough to really deal with, but that one girl, I forget her name, but from it's the Hidden Cloud Village, right, that Killer Bee's in, the one, who beats the shit out of Naruto because he's like, if you want Sasuke, beat me up instead, until all your anger's gone. I hated her. Like, I straight up fucking hated her big time. And then at the end, they show like Naruto and all the people that he's had support him and everything, and she's there, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, what the fuck is she done? She beat your ass. I want to satisfy this. Like Naruto could get his ass beat by a woman, but he let her beat it. Like at that point, he was OP. Like he could have beat the shit out of her if he wanted to. It was just ridiculous to me, where it was like she's in the court, like she never apologized, she never did anything like that. So it was like, it was just some bullshit. That was one. Let's see. Okay, so after that, Naruto, Sasuke leaves to atone. He doesn't get his arm back, which I'm wondering if he ever does, or if that's like an actual thing to atone, where he'll never get it back. I kind of feel like it would be better if he didn't, because that's like a permanent thing, where it was like, you did all this shit, and do you really, I don't want to say do you deserve, like, because Sasuke like ends up being, better. Like he's getting better, and that 6 part arc, whatever, where he goes off and it's his own adventure and stuff like that after the 2 year time jump was pretty good. Also, going back to something similar, the animation changes, which I noticed with another arc. I think it was the Power arc, like 6 episodes, whatever, and it felt like a movie. And I haven't Googled this, so I don't know, but it feels like those were supposed to be movies, and then they were put into the show. Like the Power one, I think really does, like where it was a like different animation, which you can kind of tell. Like if you seen anime, like movies that they put in the theaters, and then anime TV show, like there's a different style. Like so I can't tell what it is, but you can tell. It looked like that, and then it had nothing to do with anything. It was pretty good actually. The Power one was pretty good. The fat guy got the girl, so win for fat guys everywhere. Nah, but and then so the Sasuke one, which is kind of like movie style too, that was pretty good. I don't know. I really liked, like it felt like a lot of this stuff, like they dragged on as long as they could, putting filler episodes and backstory that we didn't necessarily need. Like they'll tell like a fucking 3 sentence backstory, and then they'll give us like later on 6 episodes doing the same shit, just with more, I guess, information. Which was just some shit where I'm just sitting there and I'm like, at some point it's like, I get it. Like, I know where this is going. I don't need to see it. But I did, once again, I did. I was like, if I watch the show again, there's some stuff I'll skip. Some filler I'll definitely watch. But some stuff, it's like, some shit like that, it's like, you get the story, you don't need to go back. But they put as much as they could, and then they're like, oh shit, we have like 20 episodes left, some shit, what should we do? So they put, they put the Sasuke episodes, then they put the Naruto Hinata wedding episodes, like wedding gift episodes, which were good. I enjoyed them. But I was quite surprised with that. So I'm watching it, and they're just like, what are you gonna get for Naruto and Hinata's wedding? And I'm sitting here, I'm like, yo, what? Like, what do you mean? What, we're just not gonna see him get together because we never got to that point. And I watch it all, and I watch the show, and I'm like, okay, you know what? That was good. The last, like, those episodes, like the 2 year time jump, feels like so different. Like all the character designs are different, and I like them for the most part. I don't know, just some of like the women look fucking crazy. Like and like some of these girls, like they just looking crazy. Like not ugly or anything, but just like I guess like a glow up. I don't know, but like, and also this is gonna be going separate, but something I noticed is like between Naruto like Shippuden and I guess, I don't know, it has to be that 2 year time jump or some shit, they get technology, bro. Like I feel like these girls had cell phones or whatever, and then there's like this technology now where I'm just like, what, like years ago, like they had to use Eno mental fucking I forget what Eno's dad's name is, connecting everyone mentally, and then it's like now they got like cameras and shit, not cameras like that, but like cameras like this, like they had the fucking where you put the cover over the 1800s photo. So that was somewhere I was just like, hey, big jump. But that was just something I wanted to mention. But finally, so I'm watching these episodes and I'm like, okay, they got together, the episodes, it just, they were good. The wedding episodes just were decent. And then though I forgot to mention before that, like within those 20 episodes, there was like the 3 or 4 episode, where it's like Naruto, Hinata, and then it was Sasuke, Sakura, and then it was Jiraiya, and wasn't Tsunade. I forget, but it's like, the half and half episodes where each about like flashbacks about them, and that was good. The Naruto and Hinata one was my favorite, and that was some stuff where then they do the 2 year time jump. So anyway, getting back to it, there's some changes, stuff like that, and I'm trying to think. Okay, so I'm just gonna go into the movie now. So like I said, I finished the show, then I realized, oh, okay, there's the you know, I Google it and I'm like, Naruto movies in order. So I'm like, what? I felt like I was missing something, or I don't know. But basically, what ended up happening was I Google it and they're like, the only two movies that are canon are Naruto, the last movie, or like important or whatever. I don't know. If I said canon, and then Boruto the movie. So I, was like, okay, let's see Naruto last movie. I Google it. It's like romance. I'm like, okay, I'm in. Let's see it. Let's see if this is it. And it was a fucking banger, dude. It was a banger. It was a really good movie. Giving, Hinata and Naruto that relationship. Fucking Lee, just giving that shit, which I'm about. Sakura still being pathetic fucking 2 years later. Like, oh, we girls gotta help each other. Like, bro, I need to back off anyway. But that movie was so good. Like, my favorite part was easily, by far, the Naruto Hinata relationship. Just finally developing that, and him, knowing for sure, she loves him, and he tells her that, and then she has to leave to defeat this guy which I was confused. And then they explain it where I was like, there's this Sage of the Six Paths, and then his younger brother, which, they have those flashback episodes with them and how they take down I literally can't remember I can't remember her name, but, they take down that woman, their mother, and, he's like, I'm gonna go to the moon to be with her, or whatever, be near her. And then, like, his descendant, whatever, is like a villain. And he's like, oh, my brother ever said that, the world got out of hand, whatever, we have to destroy it. And I'm like, really? Like, like, that doesn't seem like what he did. And then it was wrong. So that was, like, making sense. And then also, I did like that because the younger brother, like, after that, like, nothing. Like, just nothing. Like, he dropped off the face of the earth, and then the Sage of the Six Paths was huge. So anyway. So that was a good villain, but, Naruto, Hinata, and then they finally get together, and they have these moments, and it was like, at the end, when they're holding hands, and they're showing, like, through the ages, when they were really young, holding hands, running, then, older and older, up until present day, was so sweet. I loved it. And then it made sense, when they do the episodes, and it was like, oh, Naruto and Hinata are the first to get married, and it's like, okay, that felt deserved. Like, that felt really deserved, and I want, the only other, like, big relationships, I can't think of another one. I know there's going to be another one once I finish the video, but was Shikamaru and, oh my god, what the fuck's her name? Gaara's sister. I can't believe I can remember her name. That was a good episode, too, where they're trying to find a wedding gift for Naruto. They go to the hot springs, and she thinks, like, he's trying to get with her. That was great. Their romance was probably, like, my second favorite behind Naruto and Hinata. So that was pretty good. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I don't really think so. I think that's about it. As for Boruto, I really don't know. If somebody ends up watching this, because most of the time this is just for me to rant, please let me know. Would you recommend Boruto? I feel like Naruto had such like a decent end where it's like, this whole thing is like, he's the child of prophecy, he's gonna bring peace. So I feel like that limits of like what they can do in Boruto unless they want to ruin Naruto. Like, things should be relatively chill. Like, things shouldn't be as bad as they were in Naruto. I don't know, like, is Boruto a good character? Is whatever? I don't know. I might check out Boruto the movie and then decide from there. But if you've seen Boruto, let me know either way. Should I watch it? Should I not? I think that's about it. I don't really have anything else to say, but if you watch Naruto, let me know what you think. Which one's better, Naruto or Naruto Shippuden? I gotta say Naruto Shippuden. And I think that's about it. Peace.